Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be taking you around the MSC Orchestra, which I recently disembarked a few weeks ago. So we actually stayed about one night before our cruise started, just because of personal preference. I'd rather be there a day before. And then on the day itself, I decided to take a walk with George, basically on the Durban walkway. And as we were walking, we saw the boat almost coming into dock in the distance, which was pretty cool. But at this stage, that was about an hour before we were supposed to embark. So we had an idea that, okay, it's going to be slightly delayed. Which actually, it wasn't too bad a delay, considering that they still had to get all the passengers off and then obviously the new passengers on. So essentially our embarkation took about 2 hours. When we were supposed to embark, I think around 1, we landed up only getting on the boat at 2:30, which is actually not so bad considering that there was a delay. So it moved pretty quickly. I really liked how grand the boat seemed. Everything for me I thought was well designed, be it the floor pattern on the carpet to the ceilings. If you wanted a sort of a louder area, you could always go to the pool deck, and there were generally loud parts on the boat. However, if you did want to sort of have a quieter place, if you had to do some work or reading, if you just wanted some peace and quiet, you could typically go to the card room. There is a library on board and a whole bunch of the lounges that aren't being used for live music at the time. I found those to be quite quiet. So I think the one was called the Shaker Lounge, and in the day you could literally go and sit at the back of the boat on the chairs, plug in your laptop or whatever you want to do, read a book, and it was peaceful and quiet. Not many people actually sat there. So I found that was really nice, because sometimes I don't want to be all around people all the time. However, if I do feel like seeing people, if I do want to be around the action, you could just go onto the pool deck and everybody's there anyway. So I quite like that about the boat, and that you can sort of pick and choose where you want it to be and what kind of vibe you wanted. For this specific cruise, we actually decided to book a balcony cabin, which I really enjoy. If I have the choice, by far I'll always choose to do the balcony cabin. However, the other ones I've heard are also really nice. The ocean view, where you've got a window basically of the sea, which is great. I feel like everything is such a short walk away from being outside anyway, that it doesn't really matter. But just for personal preference, I quite like, for my own seasickness, I like to see the horizon, so that works out well for me. The other thing I really liked about our room was the fact that we chose it specifically close to the gym. So obviously if you go to the back of the boat, if your cabin's at the back, you're closer to the buffet on the 13th floor. However, if you're at the front, the gym/spa area is directly above, so it's at the front of the boat. So essentially when we booked our cabin at the front, everything was really close, that we could literally just go 2 floors up and we're basically at the gym, which for me, I found that more convenient, whereas some people would probably prefer the back of the boat close to the buffet. Yeah, that was just my own personal preference though. In terms of the gym, I really liked it being at the front, so you had the opportunity to see a panoramic view in front of you. I found that was quite nice. However, if the waves are a bit choppy, it was a bit interesting running on the treadmill, to say the least, because you are sort of like holding on either side if it is very wavy. So that was that was interesting. But overall, I really liked the equipment. The equipment was pretty modern. There was more than enough variety of things to use to have like a decent workout. So I like that, and I think pick your time, but for me personally it wasn't ever really too busy. Dinner setup, so there's 2 time slots that you can go for. There's the 6:30 or the 8:30. So in the past I have gone for the 6:30, however I found it quite early for me as my own personal preference. I think if you are going with like a family, a younger family where you have younger children, I think that would be probably the best time, because then obviously you can go watch the show afterwards if you want to, and everybody can go to sleep early if they need to. However, I personally enjoyed exercising later, so 5 o'clock-ish, so that meant that I had enough time. If I went to the 8:30 time for dinner, I had enough time to sort of shower and just go watch a show before and then have dinner afterwards. So pretty much that's it. I think one of the most memorable things for me is just having the opportunity to go sit at the back of the boat, even on the side of the boat, and just watch the sunset, because those from the ocean view are truly like spectacular. I don't think there's anything comparable to a sunset from the boat. I really enjoyed that.
Now marks the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you stayed to the end, I really appreciate it, and I hope that you found it enjoyable and informative. And if you're looking to book your own cruise, I'm very excited for you. I think it's such an enjoyable experience, and so I look forward to seeing you in next week's video.